Hey, everybody. Jordan Adler here, bringing you the Beach Money podcast where we interview entrepreneurs that are building a beach money life because who doesn't want beach money, right, Ian?
Amen, sir. This is the place to be.
Yeah, Ian Lenhart is my guest. And besides being one of my great friends and business partners in one of our businesses, Ian is someone who lives life full throttle. And that's one of the things that I love about him. He's young, but he's moving fast. He's going like crazy. And I guess I wanted to just start off by just telling everybody how we met. You read my book Beach Money and contacted me, and you had a podcast. It's a good day. What was it? It's a
The damn good day show.
it was the damn good day show. Thank you for that. Yeah, and so he invited me to the live podcast. So I went to San Diego and we did that. Not far from the beach, and we got to know each other there. And then a number of months later, he knew I was a cigar smoker, and I knew he was a cigar smoker. And he said, "You need your own Beach Money cigar." And so actually, Ian and his business partner Matt are the creators of the Beach Money cigar, and they've helped to produce those. They're the distribution company, and they've got the professional cigar rollers and growers that actually make this beautiful Beach Money cigar, which is an amazing smoke. And yeah, so I'm excited to have Ian on the show with us here, and thanks for jumping on.
Man, isn't it so cool that this all started from reading your book, reaching out to you, and just shooting my shot? You know, they call it throwing Hail Marys, right? Send a DM to someone, say, hey, I would love an hour of your time. Could you be on my show? You happily said yes. And I mean, think about that. If I had never reached out, think about all the different things that have transpired from this and the relationship we've built. So it's just, it's wild to put your practices into play and now to be here with you today.
And here we are, full circle, right? I thought we could start maybe by talking about beach money and some of the beach money trips that you've taken. First of all, do you remember the first time you made beach money? In other words, you got money in your bank account and you didn't have to go to work to get it?
Yeah, well, I would consider direct sales network marketing for sure to be the
Yeah,
gateway. I think direct sales and network marketing is the gateway drug of entrepreneurship. Like it's the first
absolutely.
time in a lot of people's worlds where they've ever had an opportunity to work for themselves. They've ever at least been shown a path that doesn't include clocking in and clocking out with someone else. And I think that once you open that can of worms in someone's brain, it allows them to start thinking about what other ways could I create residual income? What other ways could I create leverage to be able to live the lifestyle of my dreams? But it all started in college when someone told me about a direct sales company, Vima, at the time,
Mm.
and yeah, it was quite the journey we went on there.
Yeah. So, as far as your cigar brand, I mean, you don't just do my cigars; you do cigars for lots of different companies. Um, what what would Beach Money look like in your model, your cigar brand model? Because I know you work the business, you're in the business, you're the marketing side, or you're the technology side of it primarily, the technology and
I,
fulfillment.
I'm a little confused in your question. Do you mean like
So what
how
is
does cigars.com impact the beach money lifestyle? Is that what you mean? Like how does it work
sort
together?
of? I'm actually wondering how could cigars.com produce a Beach Money for you?
Oh, like the beach money lifestyle. Yeah. So, you know, when you build a business, right, you create leverage. And in the beginning of any business, I don't really know any other way to do it without just putting in a ton of sweat equity and just
Right.
getting your hands dirty and living a lot of years of your life like most people wouldn't. There's just anything that's really worth value, you have to put time into. But once
Yeah.
you learn a business, once you understand the ins and outs and the turns and all the things that can go right and all the things that can go wrong, then you can start building a playbook. And then once you have that playbook, you can easily educate, well, not easily, but you can teach others to build your business for you so you can create a beach money lifestyle, right? And that's like the dream, right? Obviously, everyone who's an entrepreneur, they like working deep down, they like it. That's probably why they start, but they also like the benefits that it brings them. But for example, with cigars.com, you know, we could hire out a lot of the roles that I do today and have that sort of residual income sort of lifestyle. And long term, that's the goal, of course. But at the same time, I'll always be active in what I do. But because I build this remote and we are now the number sixth biggest custom cigar company on Google, we now get inbound all the time of folks that want to create their own custom cigar. And since we have the distribution all set up from customer service to customer success to production to distribution, as you know, Jordan, when someone orders from our website, they get their orders typically in 3 or 4 days. We created that pipeline so that now we're able to automate a lot of the business, right? Then the big focus is building relationships, building bigger partnerships, and focusing on thinking of ways to scale faster. And with the advent of AI and all the insane learnings, it's never been a better time in society for you to go out and build a business that ultimately can give you that leverage to achieve, the sought after beach money lifestyle.
Yeah, it's all about leverage. And I think that was a really good description of your business model and what you provide to people. Um, and what I think about is like, I've got loyal customers that buy my Beach Money cigars every single month. And every time they make a purchase, you're not involved in that. They love the cigar and they go and place an order. And then they place another order, and then they place another order, and then they place another order. And that's passive income to you and your company. That's and then as you get to a point where your profits significantly exceed your expenses every month, that's beach money. That's beach money, baby. Where you can go do
That's beach
things.
money.
Yeah. So what does a beach money lifestyle look like to you?
A beach money lifestyle looks like to me is that you get to work when you want to work and you work on your own terms. I'd say that one of the hardest things about achieving a beach money lifestyle is you sort of have to sacrifice a lot of your time to get there. So you start off doing the complete opposite of a beach money lifestyle in the beginning. You're working harder than you'd ever worked in your life. You're addicted to success. You're addicted to growth. You're addicted to the late nights. You have no choice. It's only on you. Like, it's funny when you put responsibility on your shoulders, you have no choice. And I think that that's what a lot of entrepreneurs
Mm,
learn to do. They jump in without the parachute and then they realize like, oh shit, there's no parachute. And that's a motivator. That's a really, really good motivator. So eventually when you have the courage to jump in and build something, you learn the ropes of that deal, whether it's network marketing, whether it's e-commerce, whether it's building a business through Amazon, whether it's rental properties, whether it's real estate, whether it's cryptocurrency, like whatever your deal is, whether it's selling courses, you learn the business eventually. And then once you start building scale, you can start unlocking exponential growth. So for me, coming circle, a beach money lifestyle incorporates, you know, the fruits of your labor growing while you're not necessarily working. And in that sense, you could take 2, 3, 4, 5 days a week, a month, and just check your email on your phone, for 2 hours a day or 30 minutes a day, and manage and run and facilitate the necessary steps that have to happen in order for the businesses to continue. And typically, as a CEO or as a founder or as a business owner, you're dealing with all the big problems.
right.
So, like, the big problems are both blessings and curses, right? Because if you don't have the big problems figured out, the big problems become the worst thing in your life. It's the anti beach money lifestyle, it's the suffocation
Right.
lifestyle. But if
Right.
you figure out the big problems, like for us with cigars, making sure that we have the great tobacco that we promise our customers, that we guarantee this quality of this product, making sure that we have stock, making sure that we have all the boxes, making sure that everything is to the high level of expertise that we need, making sure all of the raw materials are there, what taking in trade and taking in all the global economic issues that are happening. Like, if you have all that figured out, then beach money is like the greatest thing ever because you can run it from a dashboard on your phone. And I think that's the dream, right? That's what we all want. But I do think, because I see you, Jordan, you've had the beach money lifestyle for so long, but yet I still see you working because you like to work. Like, you
Yeah.
like being in the trenches, but you can also go to Miami for 4 days whenever you want. So,
Yeah.
you're
And
the
you
you're the
live
best
there.
example of it.
You live there in Miami, in paradise. Yeah, I
It's
travel a
nice,
lot.
man.
Yeah, I travel a lot. One of the things I was talking to Dave Wilkerson about earlier, a good friend of ours, is it's over the course of I struggled for many, many years where I had no beach money, just trying to get things going and trying to figure everything out. And then once I started getting some beach money and then getting significant beach money, I found that like on Tuesday afternoon, most people are working where like I can go and do stuff on a whim, but sometimes it's hard to find somebody that can do it with you, unless you start hanging out with people that also have beach money. But you brought up three things in when you were just talking that I wanted to dig a little deeper on. The first was you said no choice. I don't know if you recall saying that. You said you have no choice. So I don't know if you know the story of Vincent van Gogh. Vincent van Gogh in his lifetime only sold two paintings. Did you know that?
I
And
didn't.
he only sold those paintings to his family, and he didn't get very much money for them. So when Vincent van Gogh passed away, he never knew that he was a success as a commercial, you know, artistic painter. But then today his paintings go for 100 million, 180 million for one painting. His top 10 paintings are worth over $1 billion. And my friend Buddy, who's a musician, wrote a song called No Choice about Vincent van Gogh. He didn't have a choice. He had to build. He had to create art. And that's kind of how it is as an entrepreneur. When you tap into what it is you're passionate about, you don't have a choice. You just have to do the work. And I wanted to just expand on that a bit. And then also, I want you to talk about being obsessed. Like, how important is it to be obsessed with your business to have success in business?
That's really cool about the Van Gogh guy. I mean, who doesn't know about Van Gogh? I mean, he's one of the few artists that everyone knows. That's an incredible
Right.
story. And the no choice thing's interesting because it's like I think for me, you have to ask yourself like what motivates you. And I think if you know what motivates you, then you're able to really sort of dial in the things you do on a day-to-day basis to stay more in line with sort of like the root cause of who you are. Because if you're doing things that are more in line with what you do every day and what you do naturally, it doesn't feel like work. It feels like just
Right.
another day in your life. So for me, I have, because I grew up in the network marketing world and then I got into tech startups where I was a, first employee of a facial recognition startup that ended up becoming the number one facial recognition algorithm in the world, which today is the thing that powers Clear at the airports, or if you ever go to global security, like our technology runs that facial recognition. Wow. So I saw that entire journey and was in that startup thing from start to finish. And I saw, I met so many incredible founders and people that have built sweet businesses by being through these multiple tech accelerators in San Francisco and just rubbing shoulders with young startups and hungry startups and founders. So I knew deep down, I want the experience of being a founder of a business and not just being like a guy that says he's a founder because anyone can say that. I want the experience of earning the respect of other people that are building a business. And like that means a lot to me in the core. It's like I like as an individual, like I pride myself so much on just being an equal, being able to show up to the table. So I've always wanted to build a business that wasn't just network marketing. Because don't get me wrong, network marketing is incredible. I still do it today. I love it. But it definitely bites a little different than a traditional business when you're not worrying about building the manufacturing and all that different stuff. So I knew that's what I wanted. And I also learned a lot about myself is that when I start something by myself, I tend to sort of give up on myself. I have a squirrel brain where like I get too many ideas and I try to do too many things. So I've never really give things the time it takes to really grow into something amazing. And it wasn't until I met my business partner, Matt, where I really figured out what motivates me. And it's not success, it's not money, but what motivates me is not letting my teammates down. Like I'm really good at taking myself out of it. And when I am letting someone else down, I'll like work to the end of time, but I'll let myself down very quickly sometimes. And I know that sounds crazy, but when I met my business partner, that's what motivated me. It's like, I'm in it with him and he expects something from me and I expect something from him. And without us, this doesn't happen. So when I'm having a bad day, I think like, what would Matt do? And Matt Dodge is my co-founder. And we've known each other for, 15, 16, since I was essentially 9 years old. It's like my entire life, like over 20 years. And when you get to work with your best friend, all of the little things are so much more fun because it's not like, oh, we got to fulfill this order. It's like, oh my God, we get to fulfill this order for this client, you know? And I think that
Yeah.
when you get into that headspace, you become obsessed. You become obsessed with the day-to-day functionality of the business. I kind of went off a little bit course there, but
No, no, I get
you're
it. Yeah, no, I think you're actually right on track. And even in your explanation of all that, you can feel the obsession. And that's not a bad thing. When somebody does not have that obsession, their business fails. You have to be that entwined. You have to be that uh it's almost like a marriage. You have to be that committed to it that for it to succeed. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and it's all about the small things. It's not the big things. It's accumulation of small wins. Like that's what I learned a lot with cigars. It's not about like the $10,000 POs or like the 50 box or 100 box cigar orders. It's about like getting this on time within 3 days when we have 1 hour. The USPS store is 45 minutes away. We have to package this and do this. We have to not go to the gym. You have to not eat. You have to get in your car, sit in traffic to make like $7, right? It's not about like the money you make. Like there's been so many days like that where I've gone to conventions by myself and I'm sitting at a booth by myself for 2 days just slinging, just talking, because it's like this is a commitment you made to yourself and you need to show up every day for it.
yeah,
And when it works, it's the greatest thing ever. Like you feel good about yourself. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
And Jordan, I would say this to you. Like one thing that also motivates me is I like having a cool story. You know what I mean? Like I always think to myself, like if I'm gonna meet someone new, what story am I gonna tell them? I like telling the story that I'm the guy that sells custom cigars because that story allows me to tap into so many unique, diverse groups from like entrepreneurs to CEOs to business owners to like just dudes at the pub. And I just
Yeah,
think that matches the personality well. So I think people need to align their story and what they want to tell every day with the business they're growing to kind of find that alignment. Does that make sense?
yeah. Usually we're just sitting around shooting the shit, and we don't get into this kind of stuff. I don't hear this. I don't hear this level of depth in terms of like business building and things from you in our normal conversation. So this is kind of fun. So let's say you're sitting across from a 22-year-old you that wants to succeed, and you're really hungry. What advice would you give to that 22-year-old that wants to build a business and be successful and not really dialed into what they want to do? They just know they want to be successful and they want to make money.
I just wrote down three things as you said that because I love
Yeah,
that question so much. The first one is, and another way to rephrase it is like, what would have told myself if I was 22 years old? Today I'm
yeah,
33. I'm still young. I'm still like hungry. But if I were 22, I would say number one, build your brand now. Just start building your brand. Whatever that means, start building your brand. Put out content, start building a personality online and start viewing your online persona as someone that's its own being, and start building skin in the game, build YouTube videos, build credibility, right? The faster you can build credibility, the faster you can create leverage. So then step two would be get real world experience. And that would mean joining a startup like I did when I was very young. Like I reached out to 50 to 100 companies I saw on TechCrunch saying, hey, my name is Ian Lenhart. I was just essentially part of a business that just got shut down, a direct sales company. And I built this 1,600 amount a distribution list, and I want to take those skills to a startup. I don't have any real world experience, but I'll do whatever it takes. Like that's how I got my foot in the door with the startup. I
yeah.
would join a startup and shadow someone that's doing it so that you can see. Because most of the time, it's like building a business isn't that complicated, but you have to like be in the right circle just to be shown what to do, right? Like we all know people that aren't that bright that are killing it in life because they
Uh-huh.
found the right opportunity. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I
Yeah.
do believe you need to find the right opportunity. And to do that, I would say step three, start a podcast. You want to know why?
Ah,
Because
why?
podcasting is the biggest life hack I've ever found in my life. Podcasting forces you to go out and meet successful entrepreneurs and people, and you get to interview them for an hour. Otherwise, you would never have this type of in-depth conversation. So what that does is it opens your mind to so many different career choices. Like it opens your mind to so many different business models, personalities, life decisions, and it helps you facilitate what you want to do because it's like finding what you want to do that aligns with an actual opportunity is one of the hardest things for me, at least.
Yeah,
Does
I
that
want to
make
add
sense?
number four to, yeah, absolutely. And number four to the podcasting idea is that you're building relationships with successful people, and it's relationships that will always, it's those relationships with people that are making things happen in the world that will also lead you to your opportunity, whatever it is. And also, mindset, skills, everything, resources. If you're
Yeah.
trying to build a real estate company and you need investment capital, you're going to need to know the right people that have the money, that can
Yeah.
help you with
And
that.
everyone,
Or
and totally. And everyone has imposter syndrome when they start. They think, like, I'm not Jordan. I'm not Ian. Like, I'm not, like, you literally just need to get in front of the camera and start talking, you know? And
yeah,
it's interesting. Yeah, go ahead.
how old were you when you started your podcast?
27,
All
27.
right.
Yeah, I did. And
Yeah.
I did it on and off for like 4.5 years. We're at
Yeah.
170 episodes.
Very cool. Yeah. We're not even anywhere near that. We're like 40.
You know,
So,
it's like so cool though, because once you get started, it's like dominoes. Like I remember one time I was on Instagram and I don't have like a ton of followers on Instagram. I had like 6,000 at the time and it was like great. But I like DM'd this girl, Jen Gottlieb, because she was working for this company. You might know Jen at this point because she has since just blown up. Anyways, I had her on the podcast and she ran this big PR firm. After the podcast, she's like, "Oh my God, this was such a fun time." She then recommended me her list of clients to be on my podcast. At the
wow.
time, one of those clients was this guy named Peter Tannen. So I saw his bio and I was like, I'd love to have this guy on my podcast. I did this podcast with my friend Peter. We, didn't talk for 6 months. And then when I moved to Miami, I said, "Hey, Peter, it's Ian from the podcast. I'm in Miami. You want to get a drink?" We ended up getting a drink and we just became like such good friends. He became like a mentor to me, a friend, just an amazing person in my life, like someone I just deeply
Yeah.
respect. And he's been a dear friend for me for the last 6 years. And through Peter, I've met so much incredible entrepreneurs. And Peter's the founder of Snap Fitness, by the way,
Oh,
4,000 locations around the world.
wow.
Mega
Amazing.
entrepreneur, but even better
Yeah.
person like yourself, Jordan. So it's like you just never know who you're going to meet and who you're going to get introduced to that changes your life forever. And it starts with just
Yeah.
like putting yourself in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. With as many people as you've met and connected with, are there any mentors or books or things that have really shaped, like that you specifically, like one or two or three that have really shaped your uh, business development and your business growth?
I don't know if I have like certain books. Like I'm not a very like good like Think and Grow Rich is an incredible
Sure.
book, right? Like that's How to Win Friends and Influence People, the Four Agreements. But I'm more of an audio learner than a book. Like I like audio a lot, so I don't really like pull certain phrases out of the books. But I think honestly, I wouldn't even say a book. I would say network marketing.
Yeah. All right.
I would say network marketing is probably the best thing you could ever do to be an entrepreneur because it's the only place where you can join for, you know, give or take $80 to 500 depending on how much product you want to buy and have a business and start getting mentorship with personal development for essentially for free.
Yeah.
Uh, I think that's the biggest thing is like you need to have someone believe in you and you need to start doing personal development in the sense of like practicing gratitude and not believing what everyone else is thinking. Like you need to separate
Right.
yourself from the pack, you know what I mean? You need to like build your own philosophy in life, and to build your own philosophy you have to go against what the crowd is doing, because only then will you actually know what your philosophy even is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, my next question was going to be what will people that have never done network marketing before get by being involved in a network marketing business as a even as a launching pad or maybe something they want to build into the future. And you named some of those things, discernment, the ability to handle rejection, learning to sell, learning how to network. What else?
I think something I love about direct sales, because I'm a guy that has worked in a traditional tech startup and enterprise sales. I've run and operated my own typical business where you put a ton of money in and you have to turn a profit, right? With cigars.com. But I still do network marketing to this day. And I just think that network marketing teaches you how to, I just completely lost my train of thought here in terms of what it teaches, in terms of what it
Yeah.
teaches you. Yeah, I'm human,
What
by
is
the way, guys. I lose that all the
what
time. But I think,
what
you say that again?
Yeah, what are the things what are some of the things that somebody who gets involved in network marketing can expect to learn on their journey that's going to help them in life and in business?
Got it. Where I was going with that is a lot of people are really high IQ. They have like just general intelligence about situations or facts, but not a lot of people have a lot of EQ, like emotional intelligence.
Hmm.
And for me, the best thing about network marketing was it developed my emotional intelligence like crazy. Because
Yeah,
I think the hardest part about network marketing isn't necessarily building a business, selling products. It's building a community, and it's learning to work with such a variety of personalities, because you're
for
essentially
sure.
creating a volunteer army. Like everyone there is there because they chose to be. So like you have to build up enough hoorah, camaraderie, and teamwork to convince a group of people to like meet every week and to do this and be as passionate about it as you are. But the hardest part is when you deal with such big personalities, like you have to be able to work with people in this volunteer army lifestyle. And that's why like the best, highest network marketers, they're not the smartest people in the world, but they're really good with people and they
Right.
understand emotions very well. And that's how they deal with the million of like drama problems that happen when people are trying to work together. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it sounds very overwhelming for somebody that's getting involved for the first time, but it's the truth. And it's one way of really stretching yourself and growing quickly. You want to grow quickly, and the way to do that is put yourself in situations that are uncomfortable. And yeah, so that's good. So I have one very important question. I've got two things to kind of wrap up our podcast here. But the first one is important as it relates to you because you're on the cusp of what's going on today in the world with cryptocurrencies and AI and all that. I would just like to hear your perspective on what you think over the next few years, what you think AI and digital currencies are going to do to the face of business as it relates to being a startup or somebody who's looking for beach money.
Yeah, I mean, well, number one, there's going to be billion-dollar companies that are run by one person.
Right.
Like, like that's like the future. Uh, I would say that most jobs that you think about today are not going to be here tomorrow. Like most people don't want to admit that, but it's true. And I would say that if you're not valuable and if you're not up to date on the newest AIs, you're behind because the amount of tools that we have now is incredible. Like everyone has ChatGPT. It's kind of like everyone has access to a hammer, but only a carpenter really knows how to hit that thing the right way. Like you need to learn how to leverage ChatGPT the right way. Like here's a funny tip. When you use ChatGPT, it always creates these lines. They're called M dashes. If you ever see an M dash in anyone's post, you know they use ChatGPT, like the smallest
Oh,
little thing. And most people don't even notice that, right? So like make sure you tell it remove the M dashes. But if
right.
you can teach ChatGPT to combine with Canva and then combine with coding platforms and then combine with a UI platform, you can have it create the most incredible things and automate most of your tasks. So where the world is heading is what took 100 people is going to take 5 people. And what I would suggest people do is take time learning the newest technologies that are out there, watch more videos on how to use them, and start implementing them in real world environments. Because if you don't, there's someone else that is. And I think that unfortunately, like there's going to be a bigger separation between rich and poor over a long periods of times because of AI. It's going to be the people that embrace technology and had it work for them, and then the people that just try to hang on for what used to be there. Uh, but at the same time, like you won't replace all jobs. Like there's some things that are unreplaceable. Like going to a nice restaurant and having a server sometimes is amazing, right? Going and having a home cooked meal is amazing. But I just think in general, if you're not up to date on how to use these tools and you're not using them on a day-to-day basis, you will get left behind. I mean, I can't wait for like I'm a big Tesla nerd. Like I just love what Tesla creates. Like I'll be the first person to get an Optimus robot. And I know listeners here are like,
So
that's sketchy. But
I heard that coming off the production line right now with Tesla is are cars that will actually work for you. So you can actually through an app on your phone say I'm going to be sleeping from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. and you send your car out to go pick up passengers and drop them off and you get money in your bank account, beach money.
it's insane. I mean,
Pretty insane.
I have a Toyota 4Runner. I love it. But I'm thinking about it all the time. When that gets released in Miami, I'm like, if I could just click in coordinates and technology can bring me there, I would save so much time just
Yeah,
being in an automated in a vehicle. So yeah,
yeah,
that's happening and technology's in front of us. So for the listeners, it's beach money lifestyle or get left behind. Um,
yeah.
but you got to find what motivates you because I know that kind of sounds a little aggressive. Life's hard. It's very hard to be competitive. Uh, I don't know. You know this, Jordan. Like sometimes in my life, I've been super successful, and there's been times I've lost it, and I got successful and I lost it. Like I've been through highs and lows, and I know you have.
Sure. Yeah.
Lows suck, man. Like it sucks when you're low, and it feels so good when you're high.
Hmm.
And the real test of a person is to remember who you are and what you love as a person. Don't let money and success define your character, but make the hunger to achieve what your dreams like a big point in your life because it's like I think the worst day in your life would be sitting in front of the person that you could have became and you never did it because you were scared to just start. You know,
Right.
like that would be a horrible nightmare.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right. My last question for you, buddy. What's one thing that you learned from your dad that can help other people in life?
My dad's like one of the most funny dudes you'll ever meet. He's just everyone loves my dad. He's just that guy that can joke about everything and he's just super funny and immature and goofy and that's why people like him. He's easy to talk to. He's non-judgmental. He doesn't care if you're a janitor or a CEO. He's just Dave. I would say like become friends with everyone. You don't need any enemies in this world. You only want friends. And the more friends you collect, the much better lifestyle you'll ever have. Because I would rather be someone super well connected who's a millionaire than maybe a billionaire that has no friends or isn't
Yeah,
connected. Because you can actually, I don't know exactly, a billionaire is a lot. But like the point is that you can have a lot of connections and see so much more of the world than you ever could with just dollars in your pocket. Does that make sense?
absolutely. This has been a spectacular podcast, Ian. I want to thank you for being on it. And it's a good day to have a good day. Is that how it goes?
It's a damn good day to have a damn good day. And it's a damn good day to go to Beach Money Cigars and get your Beach Money cigars. You got to tell them about that.
Thank you. Beachmoneycigars.com. How can people reach you, Ian?
You can contact me through Instagram. It's probably easiest at Ian Lenhart, just first and last name. And likely Instagram, I would say, or Facebook,
Yeah, yeah.
or just Google. Just like there's a lot of ways.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day and appreciate you being on the Beach Money Podcast. Thanks, Ian.
Thanks, man.